for
This call is
execution
now
of
being
the
recorded.
instructions, and that is basically known as the direct memory access. So direct memory access is the alternate way by which you can execute the instructions from the memory. So we are saying we see that the direct memory access, just see that it is the alternate CPU present with your system. Since it is behaving on behalf of the central processing unit in your system. We know very well that direct memory access speed is slow, very slow than that of the central processing unit. At initially, whenever we want to execute any of the instruction within the system, it is always get executed by the central processing unit. So central processing unit is there. By using the central processing unit, by using the central processing unit, we always start the execution of any of the instructions from the memory. But whenever this central processing unit start execution of any of the instruction, it works for a little time interval. If any of the interrupt or anything by which any of the routine that start for waiting of any of the input, then in that situations this transfer gone to shifted to another alternate, you can say alternate channel that is present with the system, that is basically known as the direct memory access. So we are saying here that whenever the CPU is executing the instructions, some of the instructions automatically get shifted to the direct memory access, and these get started of execution via the direct memory access while our CPU has started the initial execution of the instructions. And this process is basically known as the whenever we start the execution of any of the instructions, these instructions always follow a cycle, and due to the cycle followed by execution of an instruction, the CPU get involved in execution of that particular instructions in a cycle, and this cycle sometimes caught by the direct memory access from the CPU. And whenever direct memory access become activated for the execution of that particular instructions, the CPU become ideal, and this process of the direct memory access is basically known as the CPU stealing. So basically, we are saying here that CPU executing of any of the instructions which is present with the memory. The DMA fetches some of the instructions from the CPU, or DMA fetches all the instructions from the CPU which has been get started of execution by the CPU, and these instructions via getting executed by the direct memory access, and this process of stealing the instructions from the CPU by the DMA is basically known as the cycle stealing. So DMA is alternate, we can say the DMA is alternate channel present with the system which executed the instructions from the memory. But initially we are saying whenever we want to start the execution of any of the instructions, the initial always get started to CPU. So we are saying here the block of data transfer from high speed devices such as drum, disk, tape, etc. This always the high block of data transfer is always get executed by the direct memory access. But we have to remember here the initial execution of the instructions from any type of memory always get started by the central processing unit. So how the DMA, yeah, what the components of the DMA are present. So basically DMA, the direct memory access, having a main component that is basically known as the DMA controller. So DMA controller become activated and it fetches the instructions from the CPU. So we are saying here the DMA is the main component of the direct memory access. The DMA controller, it is basically interface which allows input-output transfer directly between memory and devices, freeing CPU for other tasks. So we are saying here, whenever DMA want to access the instructions from the CPU or steal the instructions from the CPU, the DMA controller get activated and fetches the instructions from the CPU to DMA. So DMA controller is the alternate system which is available with your each and every system, which works as a processor within the system and get executed the instructions present within the system. CPU initializes DMA controller by sending memory address and the block size. Wherever we are saying here that always the DMA get started by the CPU itself. So CPU is only responsible for functioning of all the components present in the system. So we are saying here that whenever we talk about the CPU start the execution of a DMA, CPU start the execution of an instruction, CPU start all the other components available within the system, and whenever these all has been started, the CPU and DMA controller, or we can say the DMA, CPU said DMA is the alternate channel which can work like me within the system whilever I can take the rest. So CPU bus signals for DMA transfer. So basically, whenever we talk about the DMA transfer, means to say whatever the data is going to be executed by the DMA, or we are saying whatever the instructions are fetching from the memory directly via the DMA, and this all is going to be possible to fetching the instructions from the memory to DMA via using the buses. So we are saying here the CPU bus signals for DMA transfer. So CPU bus is there that basically signalize, that basically identified the DMA and said and send the instructions to the DMA that the DMA have to be become activated and have to execute the next instructions which is available with the CPU. So bus request is there as well as bus grant is there, and then after that this particular hardware device having the address bus, data bus, read and write lines are there. So this is the high impedance disabled when background is enabled. So block diagram of DMA controller. So whenever we talk about the block diagram, a chip is there that is basically known as the control logic. This chip basically having the ports, and these ports for interrupt, that ports are for bus grant, that ports are for bus request, that ports are for writing of something onto the control logic, and that ports are also for read the instructions. That port is the register select, and that ports is for DMA select is also available there. So the control circuit is there, control logic is there, and that having so much port, and also having the port for input output devices such as DMA request is there as well as DMA acknowledgement is there. The internal bus, which is also associated with the CPU, that is going to be associated with this control logic, and this internal bus also associated with the address register, word count register, control register, and this address bus buffer and data bus buffer. These are the two different components also present with the DMA system. So data bus buffer is there, which is basically responsible for sending the data or receiving the data. Address bus is there, which is basically responsible for address generation of the address is there, and these addresses always come in the address bus buffer, and data always come in the data bus buffer, and through the internal bus, this is going to be associated, this is going to be transmitted to the DMA controller. So this is the block diagram of a DMA controller, and it is most important topic of the examination that explain the DMA controller. And these questions sometimes have been come, multiple times have been come of the 5 marks in your examination. One more thing have to be remember here, the DMA select line is basically the unidirectional line, the register select line is basically the unidirectional line, bus request is also the unidirectional line, bus grant is also the unidirectional line, interrupt is also the unidirectional line, but whenever we talk about the read and write lines, they are always the bidirectional line. Since we are executing the instructions through the CPU, or we are seeing that we are fetching the instructions from the CPU, so the read and write lines are there that can write through the CPU as well as can write through the DMA itself. So these two lines are always the by by bidirectional lines. So DMA and IO operations, starting an input output, CPU executes instructions to load memory address register, load word counter, load function, that is the read or write functions to be performed, and issue a go command. Upon receiving a go command, DMA performs input output operation as follows depending from central processing unit. So input is there. So input device, that is read control signal, buffer DMA controller, that is input byte, and assembles the byte into a word until word is full. Memory address, that is write control signal, address register, that is address register plus 1, word counter, that is word counter minus 1. If word count equals to 0, then interrupt to acknowledge done, else go to 1 is there. Whenever we talk about the output lines, that memory always read the data from the memory address or register. The memory address register assigns the value from the memory address register plus 1. Then word count is always gone to word count minus 1. Disassemble the word, and then after that buffer will store either 1 byte, or output device will store the word for all disassembled byte. If word count equals to 0, then interrupt to acknowledgement done, else go to 1 is there. So this is the algorithm which going to be supported by the DMA for the purpose of read and write it, read and write lines. Cycle stealing. We are saying here, whenever the CPU start the execution of the instructions, the CPU start the execution of the instructions. CPU always execute the instructions, but sometimes CPU want to take rest. Then in that situation, CPU generate the signal to the DMA. Then in that situations, DMA become get activated, and DMA control in the DMA basically theft some of the instructions from the execution of the CPU, and these instructions now get executed by the direct memory access, and this process to fetching the running instructions from the CPU by the direct memory access is basically known as the cycle stealing. So while DMA IO take place, CPU is also executing instructions. DMA controller and CPU both access memory, and it means the memory access conflict may occur. Then memory bus controller coordinating the activities of all devices requesting memory access, that is the priority system, memory access by CPU, and DMA controller are interwoven with the top priority given to DMA controller, and that is basically known as the cycle stealing. Again, I am repeating the definition. Memory access by a CPU and DMA controller are interwoven with the top priority given to DMA controller, and this process is basically known as the cycle stealing. So basically we are saying here that CPU and DMA controller can transmit the data to one another for doing the execution, but the first priority, whenever the DMA has become activated, the first priority of execution of the instructions become of DMA. So basically we are saying then whenever the DMA fetches the instructions from the CPU, and this process of executing of the instructions of a CPU by the DMA is basically known as the
भाई
cycle
होल्ड कर
stealing.
सकते हो ना?
वो करेंगे
अगर जॉब
लेकिन
जॉब कर लोगे तो नो पे लीव
ये
पे
तो हो
रहोगे।
जाएगा कि नहीं गवर्नमेंट
Mr. Anup, cycle steal. CPU is usually much faster than input output DMA. the CPU uses the most of the memory cycles. The DMA controller steals the memory cycles from central processing unit. For those stolen cycles, CPU remains ideal. For those slow CPU, DMA controller may steal most of the memory cycles, which may cause CPU remain ideal long time. So this process is basically known as the cycle stealing. So again, the DMA transfer is there, and DMA transfer basically associated with the central processing unit, the input output peripheral devices with the random access memory, since the instructions are physically present with the random access memory, and since DMA basically fetches the instructions for execution from the central processing unit, so it is directly associated with the central processing unit itself. So this is the block diagram of the DMA, and by using this block diagram, we can understand the DMA transfer. So whenever we talk about the central processing unit, it having the ports for read line, write line, address line, and data line. So read bus is there, write bus is there, means to say uh, address bus is there, data bus is there, like that. So CPU is there, and CPU having the two more ports, that is basically for bus grant and bus request is there. These bus grant and bus request port associated with the DMA controller, bus grant and bus request port, and the read line and write lines also of the CPU with get associated with the DMA controller read lines and write lines is there. The address lines of the CPU as well, the address lines of the DMA controller also always have linked with all together. So whenever we say that CPU and DMA both are associated with the different lines, with the different ports available to each other. Whenever we talk about the IO and peripheral devices, the DMA request is always get through the IO input output peripheral devices, and the acknowledgement is also going to be done by the DMA controller to the IO interferer devices. By using the bus, the CPU or as well as the DMA associated with the memory, and that memory is basically known as the random access memory. So we are saying here the random access memory also having the port for read lines, also having the port for write line, and also having the port for address as well. Data is there, and these read lines of the random access memory, these read lines of the CPU, these read lines of the DMA always get associated to each other in the same style. The write lines of the memory, the write lines of the CPU, the write lines of the DMA also associated with each other in the same style. The address lines as well as data lines are associated of CPU as well as DMA as well as memory to each other. Via using the control lines and via using the process of cycle stealing, the data going to be transmitted from the memory to directly DMA controller, and DMA controller works here as a parallel processor within your system, and by using that the multi-programming concept can be get achieved easily. So this is all about the how the data transfer is going to be occur within the DMA. So this block diagram having a very important role and comes multiple time in the examination. So the question come in the examination, explain the DMA transfer or explain the DMA controller. And these are the two questions. Explain the DMA transfer, how the DMA transfer get occur inside the system. So you have to make this block diagram whenever it is going to be asked, explain the DMA controller. So this diagram, the DMA controller have to be designed by you. And sometimes it is going to be asked why the read and write lines present with the DMA are the bidirectional lines. So we are saying here the read and write lines are bidirectional in the DMA, since it steals the cycle of data from the CPU and directly become able to write into the memory and directly become able to cache the data from the memory. So we are saying the read and write lines present with the DMA are the bidirectional line always. So this third question also come in your examination, why the read and write lines of DMA is the bidirectional one. Input output processor channel. So whenever we talk about the input output processor channel, the channel is there.
सर वापस वाली स्लाइड दिखाइए सर। इसमें डीएमए कंट्रोलर का क्या काम है और सर ये DSRS सर ये है क्या, वो समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा
मैंने
है।
बताया डीएस का मतलब डाटा सेलेक्ट, डीएस का मतलब डाटा सेलेक्ट, आरएस का मतलब रजिस्टर सेलेक्ट, बीआर का मतलब बस रिक्वेस्ट, बीजी का मतलब बस ग्रांट, आरडी का मतलब रीड लाइंस, डब्ल्यूआर का मतलब राइट लाइंस, एड्रेस, एड्रेस का मतलब एड्रेस।
सर ये मैप कैसे हुआ है सर, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि रिक्वेस्ट किससे
वही हम
है।
समझा रहे हैं कि सीपीयू के अंदर, आपके पास सीपीयू के अंदर क्या होता है, अगर हम सीपीयू की बात अगर हम करते हैं तो सीपीयू के अंदर हमारे पास रीड लाइंस होती हैं, राइट लाइंस होती हैं, एड्रेस बस होती हैं, डाटा बस होती हैं, रिक्वेस्ट होता है, बस ग्रांट होता है। ये हमारे पोर्ट्स हैं। अब हम क्या कह रहे हैं कि डीएमए हमारा अल्टरनेट सीपीयू है, डीएमए इज द अल्टरनेट सीपीयू, एंड जो काम सीपीयू से हो सकता है वो सारा का सारा वर्क डीएमए से हो सकता है। कंडीशन सिर्फ इतना है कि जब आपका एग्जीक्यूशन स्टार्ट होगा तो एग्जीक्यूशन हमेशा सीपीयू से ही स्टार्ट होगा, लेकिन एक बार जहां सीपीयू से एग्जीक्यूशन स्टार्ट हो गया, सीपीयू तुरंत सिग्नल भेजता है डीएमए को, डीएमए को सिग्नल भेजा गया, डीएमए बिकम एक्टिवेटेड। जैसे ही डीएमए आपका एक्टिवेट होगा, इट विल फेचेज द डाटा फ्रॉम द सीपीयू एंड गेट स्टार्टेड एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ द डाटा, एंड इन दैट सिचुएशन द सीपीयू बिकम आइडियल। आप ऐसे समझ सकते हैं, कॉलेज है, कॉलेज के अंदर डायरेक्टर हैं, डायरेक्टर के अंदर डायरेक्टर के अंडर में आपके पास बहुत सारे एचओडीज हैं, एचओडीज के अंदर में बहुत सारे टीचर्स हैं, टीचर्स के अंदर में बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, लाइक दैट दिस इज द हायरार्की। whenever no HODs are there, whenever no
सर सीपीयू से एड्रेस सिलेक्ट सर डीएमए में आया और सर रैम में से भी सर एड्रेस सिलेक्ट भी फिर आएगा डीएमए में।
बेटा दीज आर द पोर्ट्स, एंड पोर्ट्स अगर आपके पास दोनों सेम नहीं होंगे, मेमोरी के अंदर भी पोर्ट्स नहीं होंगे, सीपीयू के अंदर भी पोर्ट्स नहीं होंगे, डीएमए के अंदर भी पोर्ट्स नहीं होंगे, तो एसोसिएशन हो ही नहीं सकता। तो रीड लाइन कहने का मतलब क्या है कि रीड लाइन का पोर्ट है वहां पर। जब हमने कहा राइट लाइन, तो राइट लाइन कहने के लिए वहां पर पोर्ट है। तो जैसे आपके सिस्टम होता है तो वहां आपके पास PS2 पोर्ट होते हैं और भी बहुत सारे तरह के पोर्ट होते हैं। तो जो PS2 पोर्ट आपकी पेन ड्राइव में है, वही PS2 पोर्ट अगर आपके सिस्टम में है तो आपका सिस्टम पेन ड्राइव आपस में वर्क कर सकते हैं, आपस में कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हैं। अगर PS2 पोर्ट की पेन ड्राइव आपके पास नहीं है, यानी ऐसी कोई मेमोरी नहीं है जिसमें PS2 पोर्ट हो, और सिस्टम के अंदर या सिस्टम के अंदर PS2 पोर्ट नहीं है, तो कम्युनिकेशन हो सकता है क्या हार्डवेयर का? हेलो,
यस सर।
हो सकता है कम्युनिकेशन या नहीं होगा? अगर हमारे पास सेम पोर्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है मल्टीपल हार्डवेयर डिवाइसेस के अंदर, तो क्या कम्युनिकेशन संभव है?
नो सर।
नो। सो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर सेइंग हियर कि यहाँ पर हमारे पास सीपीयू है, दूसरा डीएमए है। तो डीएमए कैन बी अंडरस्टूड एज अल्टरनेट सीपीयू, डीएमए को आप अल्टरनेट सीपीयू समझ सकते हैं। एक ही अंतर है इसके अंदर कि डीएमए किसी भी इंस्ट्रक्शन के एग्जीक्यूशन को स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकता, यानी बिगनिंग इसके द्वारा नहीं हो सकती। बिगनिंग कौन करेगा? बिगनिंग हमेशा सीपीयू ही करेगा। तो हेड ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशंस कौन? जो डायरेक्टर हैं, वो स्टार्ट करेंगे इंस्टीट्यूशंस को। देन आफ्टर दैट आपका बिगनिंग कौन कर सकता है? जब एक बार स्टार्ट हो गया तो एचओडीज या प्रिंसिपल जो अदर कॉलेजेस में हैं, जो एसोसिएटेड कॉलेज के जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, वो उस चीज को क्या कर सकते हैं? स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। तो सेम स्टाइल यहाँ पर भी है कि सीपीयू इनिशियल स्टार्ट द एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ एनी ऑफ द इंस्ट्रक्शन, But whenever it has get started the execution, it can get activated to the, it can give the bus request and bus grant to the DMA controller. And whenever the bus request and bus grant has been provided to the DMA controller, the DMA controller will behave same as the CPU is there. Central processing unit is there. And in that situations, the data is going to be transmitted now directly from the memory to the DMA controller, from random access memory to the DMA controller. And whenever the memory data is going to be directly transmitted from random access memory to DMA controller, then it is only feasible whenever the DMA controller and as well as the memory having the same port number. Means to say they are associated to each other. So we are saying here the bus, we are saying here the read port is there, write port is there, and it is available at each and every place. It is present with the random access memory. It is present with the central processing unit. It is present with the DMA controller. Okay. And by using this all, the data is going to be read or write within the memory or DMA controller or CPU, etc. So that's the reason we are saying that the DMA controller having the read and write lines, and that are always the bidirectional lines. Hello.
Okay, sir.
So next topic is there. अगला topic अब start होता है, that is the input output processor channel. So channel is there, the processor with direct memory access capability that communicates with the input output devices that basically identify a channel. The channel accesses memory by cycle stealing. Channel can execute a channel program stored in the main memory, consists of channel common words. Each CCW, and each channel common words specifies the parameters needed by the channel to control the input output devices and perform data transfer operations. CPU initiates the channel by executing an channel input output class instructions, and once initiated, the channel operates independently of the central processing unit. So memory bus is there, memory unit is there, the central processing unit, and input output processor bus is there. So memory bus is there, that is always get associated with the memory unit. The memory bus always associated with the central processing unit. The memory bus always associated with the DMA controller. The memory bus always associated with the input output processor units, that is peripheral devices such as keyboard, such as mouse, such as scanner, such as printer, such as joystick, etc. So lot of peripheral devices are available that basically can communicate with the CPU, can communicate with the memory, can communicate with the direct memory access, and these all devices basically can communicate whenever a channel has been established between these all units. So whenever we talk about the channel / CPU communication, so CPU operations are there as well as input output processing operations are there. So always whenever we want to start execution of any of the peripheral devices, execution of any of the software module, or execution of any of the instructions present with your hardware, is always going to be started by the CPU. So CPU send instructions to test input output path channel, and this gone to the input output processor, and processing operations that transfer status word to memory, and whatever the word present with the input output, that is going to be transmitted from again to CPU operations, whatever going to be required by the CPU. If status is okay, means to say whatever the words required by the CPU operations as per the bus request, if that is available, if that status is okay, then send start IO instructions to the again IOP. Again, it will do access memory for IOP program in input output processing programs के लिए, it having the memory. Then after that conduct IO transfer using DMA, prepare status report. If if we want that status is okay, then another work can also be generated, that is basically known as the CPU continues with another program. And in that situations, if IO transfer completed, then in that IO transfer completed, that is the interrupt CPU occur, and request IOP status. It will generally do the request IOP status, and finally transfer status word to memory location and check status word for correct transfer, and this is continue. And such type of communication can be established between the input output peripheral units as well as the central processing unit. So all the peripheral units is always associated with the CPU, and whatever the transmissions is going to be occur with the input output peripheral units to the CPU is always get started by the central processing unit, and this is basically known as the channel/CPU communication with the IOP. So by using this, almost your 5th unit is over. If you have any questions till now, you can ask. I am also sharing the notes